My final project is on calculating lawn cover using geospatial software. So the first step is going to be actually getting the data. The Utah Automated Geographic Reference Center is a really good resource. They have tons of different maps you can download on the state of Utah. And so I needed 3 different layers for my map. So building footprint data, tax parcel data, and satellite imagery data. And I chose the National Agricultural Imagery Program data because it's really high resolution. And so that would be best to actually see the lawns, um, to actually be able to detect the lawns better. And so next we're going to open ArcGIS Pro and click on the Add Folder button and then add all 3 layers of data to the map. And so since all 3 layers of this data gives us it gives us data on the entire state of Utah, but what we want to do is we want to make a smaller sample size so we can manually draw in the polygons for the lawns, and it's going to be impossible to do them. Well, it's not impossible, but it would take a long time to do it manually throughout the entire state of Utah. So what we need to do is create a smaller sample size. Sorry about that. And so what I decided to do is to clip out an area of about 20 square miles in Orem. So first, before we actually clip out the area, we need to measure it and just kind of get an idea of what 20 square miles looks like. So we go to the Map tab and the Measure tool, and then I clicked on this drop down and went to square miles because I had a different default. And then I drew a polygon, and this is how many, so it's about 20 square miles. And so now I have an idea of what about 20 square miles is. So when I actually clip out the data, I'll have a better idea. So right now I'm only working on the building footprints layer just to make it easier to show you guys. So starting with the Analysis tab, we want to click on the Clipping tool. Now it's important not to get this mixed up with the other clipping tool, which is in the Edit tab, because that does something completely different. So we want to make sure we're in the Analysis tab. So we click on that, and then once we click on that, these will be blank, and we need to put the input feature to say buildings, because that's what we're inputting, is the buildings layer, buildings footprint layer. And then we want to clip just one area. And so we click this little pencil icon, and that lets us draw the polygon of what we want to clip out. And so that's what I did. And then the output feature class is what we can name it. And so this is the name. And what it does is it makes it another layer over here. And then after we do that, we want to click Run. So that actually runs the clipping tool. And this is what it's going to look like after you run the tool. As you can see right here, it's made the buildings clip to a new layer in the contents pane, so we can see that, and we can uncheck it if we need to. And so since I'm using 3 different layers, we would need to do that process for all 3. So the other 2 data layers that I had, we need to do that as well. But it would be a little bit easier because you don't need to draw out the polygon. The other 2 times you can use the same polygon that we created here. And so this right here is what the map looks like with the NAIP data and the building footprints data. So as you can see, the building footprints are on top of the NAIP data, so it's easier to see what's a building and what's not. So just zooming in here, we can actually see the lawns. And what we'll need to do next is actually create polygons for what we will call the lawn, the actual lawn cover. And so what we would do in order to do this, as you can see, I drew one right here, but you would go to the Edit tab, and then once you go to the Edit tab, there's a drop down, and it has a bunch of tools, and you'll click on the Construct Polygons tool, and then it'll come up right here as the, on the right pane right here, and then it will let you draw a polygon. And so once, as you can see right here, construct polygons, and once you draw the polygon and you double click it, you'll need to click the green check mark right here, and then that will save it as a right here. And then as you navigate across the area that we clipped, you can just make a bunch of different polygons using this tool, and it will show up right here. And then on the left side, you'll be able to look at them as inside of the attribute table. And since we have an attribute table, once we finish constructing all of the polygons, we'll actually be able to go into the attribute table and see the total area, the total square miles or whatever units you want to use. And for this area, we can see how much of it is lawn cover. So this is another way to do exactly what we just did, except for I did it in Arc Maps. You can also do this in Arc Pro, but this is in Arc Maps. So basically, like I did in Arc Pro, I uploaded all 3 data layers, but instead I used the model builder to clip out the certain area. And so what I did first was I created a polygon, as you can see right here, and then I did the Polygon to Raster tool, and I apologize that this is in the way, but what's behind it is this is the Extract by Mask tool, and then the NAIP data is right here, and I connected it to the Extract by Mask because that's what we're extracting, and then it comes out as the data in just that polygon that we created. And these are the other 2 layers of data. So the tax parcels and the building footprints is what's behind this. And so we clipped those, both of them, into the polygon, just like we did up here. And the way that we find the tools is similar to Arc Pro, where we can actually search the toolbox and on the right here. As you can see, I searched clip and clip analysis tool. So yeah, that's the end.